Psalm 110, David says, Yahweh says to my Lord, sit at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool. These words are quoted multiple times in the New Testament. They're explained to us. Yahweh said to my Lord, and we're told that David's Lord refers to the Lord Jesus, whom David foresaw is coming in the future, his direct descendant. So God himself says to the Lord Jesus, sit at my right hand, that's interpreted as Jesus now being in heaven, until I make your enemies your footstool. That doesn't mean that he's going to put his foot on the neck of his enemies and push them down. Who comes to his footstool? So often you read, come before his footstool with praise. Who comes to the footstool of a king? His worshippers, his people. Sit at my right hand, that's where Jesus is now, until I make your enemies your footstool. The people who come to his footstool are believers, but they were enemies who are turned into his footstool. Now, Paul picks this up in the New Testament and says, we were enemies of God, but we were reconciled through the blood of the Lord Jesus Christ. Now, it's very difficult, especially for those who were brought up in some form of belief, Christianity, to understand that you were an enemy of God. You may think, well, I was not an enemy of God. I was passive. At worst, I was passive to God. But this is where you've got to understand the seriousness of sin and our condition outside of the Lord Jesus Christ. That we were enemies who were reconciled to God. And then you will have that deeper sense of awe and devotion that I, your former enemy, Lord, love you and I'm at your footstool in praise. And God makes his enemies, us, the footstool of his feet. He does that through his Spirit, working in us to transform us and change us. This is how radical it is. What a big spectrum we cross from being enemies to being his worshippers. And that I will make your enemies your footstool is going on in your heart and mine now by God through his Spirit.